Amiens is a city and commune in northern France, 120 kilometers north of Paris and 100 kilometers southwest of Lille. It is the capital of the Somme department in Nord-Pas-de-Calais-Picardie. The city had a population of 136,105 according to the 2006 census. The first known settlement is Samarobriva, the central settlement of the Ambiani, one of the principal tribes of Gaul. The town was given the name Ambianum by the Romans, meaning settlement of the Ambiani people. The town has been much fought over, being attacked by barbarian tribes, and later by the Normans. In 1113 the city was recognized by King Louis VI of France, and joined to the crown of France in 1185. In 1597, Spanish soldiers held the city during the 6-month siege of Amiens, before Henry IV regained control. During the 18th and 19th century, the textile tradition of Amiens became famous for its velours. In 1789 the provinces of France were dismantled and the territory was organized into departments. Much of Picardie became the newly created department of Somme, with Amiens as the departmental capital. During the Industrial Revolution the city walls were demolished, opening up space for large boulevards around the town centre. The Henryville neighborhood in the south of the city was developed around this time. In 1848, the first railway arrived in Amiens, linking the city to Boulogne-sur-Mer. During the 1870 Battle of Amiens, when the Somme was invaded by Prussian forces, Amiens was occupied. The town was fought over during both the First and Second World Wars, suffering much damage, and being occupied several times by both sides. The 1918 Battle of Amiens was the opening phase of the 100 Days Offensive, which led directly to the armistice with Germany that ended the war. It was heavily bombed by the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. The city was rebuilt according to Pierre Defoe's plans, with a focus on widening the streets to ease traffic congestion. These newer structures were primarily built of brick, concrete and white stone with slate roofs. The architect Auguste Perret designed the Gare d'Amiens train station and nearby Tour Perret. It has one of the biggest university hospitals in France with a capacity of 1,200 beds. Amiens Cathedral, the tallest of the large classic Gothic churches of the 13th century and the largest in France of its kind, is a World Heritage Site. The author Jules Verne lived in Amiens from 1871 until his death in 1905, and served on the city council for 15 years. During December, the town hosts the largest Christmas market in northern France. Amiens is known for a few local foods, including macaroons d'Amiens, almond paste biscuits, tuiles Amiennoises, chocolate and orange curved biscuits, pâté de canard d'Amiens, duck pâté and pastry, la fichelle Picard, an oven-baked cheese-topped crepe, and flamiche poireau, a puff pastry tart made with leeks and cream. Geography. Location. Amiens, the regional prefecture of Picardie, is also the prefecture of the Somme, one of the 3 departments in the region. Located in the Paris basin, across the country, the city benefits from a privileged geographical position. At the crossroads of major European routes of movement, the city is also at the heart of a major rail star. As the crow flies, the city is 115 kilometers from Paris, 97 kilometers from Lille, 100 kilometers from Rouen, 162 kilometers from Le Havre and 144 kilometers from Reims. At the regional level, Amiens is located 53 kilometers north of Beauvais, 71 kilometers west of Saint-Quentin, 66 kilometers from Compiègne and 102 kilometers from Laon. In area, it is the third in the Somme, after Ciercute, Cyn, Pontoise and Hornoy-le-Bourg. Geology and relief. The area of the commune is 4,946 hectares. The altitude varies between 14 and 106 meters. Hydrography. Somme Canal, Avre and Celle. Amiens is crossed by the main stem of the river Somme and is generally quiet, except during exceptional floods, several weeks long. It is also on its southeastern outskirts, close to Cammin and Longo, the confluence with its main tributary on the left bank, the Avre. The Celle enters from the northwest of Amiens, with two arms passing behind the Unicorn Stadium, the exhibition park, the megacity and horse racing track, then passing the end of the Promenade de la Hoctoire and the Zoo of Amiens, and to the right of the water treatment plant, in front of the island Saint-Aragon, opposite the cemetery of La Madeleine in Amiens. The city developed in a natural narrowing of the river at the level of the Hautes Loignages, due to the advance of the rim of the Picard Plateau in Saint-Pierre. The Amiens citadel is built on this limestone butte, and Rue Saint-Pierre is a slightly inclined path to leave the city from the north. At this narrowing, a network of narrow canals led to the construction of bridges and buildings, including textile mills in the Middle Ages. The hydrographic network has always been an important asset operated by the city. The river helped shape the identity of the landscape, urban and economic territory. It is around the quarters of Saint-Léu, St. Maurice, bordering the river Somme, and most of the administrative and civil area of the current city centre, which the city has developed since antiquity. The Canal de la Somme dates from the beginning of the 19th century, and the bridge at the foot of the citadel was built after World War II. Climate. Amiens has a typical oceanic climate in the north of France, with relatively mild winters, cool summers, and rainfall well distributed throughout the year. Transport. Amiens is a hub between the Isle-de-France and the rest of the north of France, Normandy and Benelux, and France and Great Britain. Amiens is not directly on principal European road and rail arteries, such as the A1 motorway and the Paris-Lille TGV train line, at present. However, at halfway between the urban areas of Lille and Paris, Amiens has good conditions of service and accessibility, including motorways. A regular bus link with the TGV Haute-Picardie station also provides access to the Charles de Gaulle Airport station. On the horizon of 2022, the Oisy-Picardie link will put Amiens 55 minutes from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport and its TGV station. By train, Amiens is located at roads. Since antiquity, Amiens has been a crossroads of important routes. The contemporary city is served by the A16 and A29 autoroutes. The Jules Verne Viaduct, 943 meters long, crosses the river Somme to the east of the city and allows circumvention of the city by motorway-type roads. The A16 and A29 autoroutes, the RN1 and the RN25, form a bypass-type motorway around the city that the population has called the Rocade d'Amiens, initially constituting national roads which are downgraded today, mostly as departmental roads. The greater urban area of Amiens is served by several motorways: A16 to Calais via Abbeville and Boulogne-sur-Mer, A16 to Paris via Beauvais, A29 to Rouen and Le Havre via Neufchâtel-en-Bray, A29 to Reims via Saint-Quentin and Laon. The proposed A24 autoroute from Amiens to Lille via Doullens was cancelled in 2006. Parking. According to the Urban Transport Plan approved 19 December 2013 for the period 2013 to 2023, parking supply is considered abundant in Amiens. Although important, demand for parking is less than what is available available. In 2013, the city counted approximately 70,000 public parking spaces, including 8,400 in the city centre and in its immediate vicinity, where 70% of places are paid. 4,400 spaces on highways, 4,000 spaces in underground parking. The underground car parks in the city centre are organized thus. As of 2007, a residential parking system is deployed in St Anne Ward to cope with congestion in the streets by cars of users from the SNCF railway station. During the campaign for the municipal election of 2008, parking was one of the important topics of debate. A year after the change of majority, the Lille.It team launched a consultation with the population. From 2011, the residential parking was extended to the quarters of Gaul Valley and Riolin. Then in 2012, the Noyon and the area east of the Riolin sector. In 2014, 2,600 parking spaces were affected by this system, which is designed to allow city residents more parking near the homes, to promote a better rotation of vehicles in the streets and reduce permanent occupation of public space by the cars cluttering the highway. Public transport. 2 tram lines over 10.7 kilometers were opened in 1887. The two intersect at Place Gambetta, one linking La Madeleine Cemetery, the Church of Saint-Achille, Cagnard Bridge, Rue de Noyon and Rue Jules Barny, the other from the Church of Saint-Pierre at the racecourse, by the streets of Saint-Léo, Frédéric Petit and Colbert. Electrified in 1899, the network grew to 7 lines totaling 19 kilometers in 1906. From 1932, Longeau was linked to Amiens by a bus service. The terrible German bombing in 1940, which destroyed most of the city centre, also hit their Jules Ferry Road tram depot and totally destroyed the tram fleet. Only the Longeau bus survived. Amiens remained without transport. A few old Parisian buses were then used for an extremely reduced service. These buses, as well as the Survivor bus, were then converted to city gas and equipped with tanks on the roof covered by a huge white dome. This service continued with this extraordinary material until approximately 1946. There were only 2 urban lines, an east-west line and a northeast-southwest line. It was decided after war to serve the city by trolley bus with 1 bus route to Longeau. This program was only in part realized. Road to Rouen, La Madeleine and Saint-Pierre. In 1964, trolley buses were abandoned and the bus became ubiquitous in Amiens transportation. The bus network is today managed by the Amateurs Mixed Economy Company, whose network covers Amiens Metropole, the agglomeration of Amiens. The establishment of dedicated bus lanes began in 2006. Former Mayor Gilles de Robien had envisioned the creation of a tram, but the choice of dedicated bus lanes had been preferred for reasons of cost and attendance. His successor, Mayor Gilles de Mailly, had been considering the development of a TSCP in the metropolitan area. As a result of numerous studies and conferences, elected representatives voted for the creation of a tram at the Municipal Council of the 15th of November 2012. The project had been endorsed by the Communauté d'agglomération Amiens Métropole on the 18th of December 2012, and the commissioning of a first north-south tram route was scheduled for 2018-2019. Following the elections of 2014, which were a defeat for most municipal and community carriers of the project, The new mayor of Amiens, Brigitte Fauré, and by extension the new president of Amiens Metropole, Alain Gest, decided to suspend the project at least during the time of the respective mandates, thus applying a campaign promise. And despite the project announcement of trams on ties, improvement of public transit would then be only by that of the bus network. Indeed, in December of the same year, the Community Council approved funding for a study relating to the establishment of a rapid transit bus network, which should enter into service in March 2019, and whose vehicles could be electric. Cycle Networks Amiens has developed two bike services, Lille.It and Velom. Lille.It is a service of rental bikes on demand, created in May 1999. In 2014, nearly 2,400 green bikes are available for rent, essentially city bikes but also electric bikes, folding bicycles and specific bikes. The rental period varies from half a day to 1 year. Velom is a bike-sharing system created on the 16th of February 2008, an adaptation of the Cyclo-City system managed by JC Deco, similar to Ve-Acute LOV in Lyon and Ve-Acute LIB in Paris. Velom offers 313 bikes distributed every 300 to 400 meters in the center of Amiens and 26 stations. In 2012, Amiens Metropole had 100 kilometers of routes for cyclists, despite the development of a bicycle plan in 1997 which was planning the development of 500 kilometers of equipped cycleways. The network of the territory in terms of paths is still incomplete. The blueprint of the bicycle facilities of the agglomeration provides, over a period of 10 years, for 188 kilometers of cycle routes and equips 490 sites for the parking of bikes. This plan also includes the deployment of parking facilities over the entire territory of the city, close to the facilities frequented by bikers, as well as cyclist right turns at traffic lights, or even the maintenance of existing facilities. Railways. There are 3 railway stations, 2 stations on the Paris-Boulogne and Amiens-Rouen lines. The Amiens station, main station, known as Gare du Nord, in memory of the Compagnie du Nord who created it. Every day, 15,000 travelers use its 7 lines. The station of Saint-Roch. Connections from these 2 stations include to Lille via Arras-and-Way, to Boulogne via Abbeville, to Paris Nord via Creil-le-Compiègne, to Reims via Tourgne, and to Rouen, a station located on the Paris-Lille line in Longeau serving south of Amiens and the communes of Longeau, Cagny, Beauvais, etc. Longeau Station, a passenger station of the historic railway hub in Longeau. Every day, 2,500 travelers use its 2 lines. Gare de Montiers station assigned to the freight traffic, it serves only the industrial zone of Amiens. This station is located on the former railway line of Doullens. Many regional and extra-regional links pass through Amiens, especially by Picardie, a station located 45 kilometers from Amiens. The Haute-Picardie TGV station allows access to the TGV network. It is served by buses from Amiens. Its isolated character earned it the name of Gare des Betteraves, or Gare Betteraves, at the time of its construction. Air transport. In addition to Amiens, Glacier Aerodrome, bordering the town's eastern edge 5 kilometers from the center, there are several airports nearby. Albert-Picardie Airport is located 20 minutes northeast of the city. Beauvais-Tillet Airport, the 9th largest French airport by usage, located 45 minutes by car south of the city, and served by bus service from Amiens. Lille Airport, reachable by train or by road using the A29 and A1. Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport, reachable by train or by road using the A29 and A1, or A16 and N104. The creation of a railway between Creil and Roissy will put Amiens 55 minutes from Paris Charles de Gaulle Airport by 2020. Waterways. The Somme Canal runs through the town to the English Channel. This canal is linked to the Canal du Nord.